Hey. Guten Tag, fellow car enthusiasts. We're back. Let's come and check out what we're doing today. There's a bunch of metal. We're going to get stuck into this corner, and what I have done in the previous video, you would have seen I modified this bracing so that we can actually get to this area. And the idea is I have obviously the remnants of where the hinge used to be, but more importantly, I have got this template which is laser cut, and I can slot that in like that, and it actually tells me exactly where that has to go. So I don't have to worry about any other measurements, just bolt that on. We've got our part here. I'll probably end up using all this metal because, you know, this has got holes in it. I think we'll just cut it straight across here and we can get that welded in like that. I am only going to tack this in position because, you know, just in case things don't work, but I think the plan will be to get this sorted and then I can work on the hinge on the door, and then we can have a bit of a play around with that. But I figured we might as well do those front two pillars, I suppose, get these done in both of them, and then go from there. And I think after that, I think we might change to the back, maybe get those sections down there done. Don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I will run it past a few other people because I have not done this repair before. So it's a first for me. So I'm not sure of what order you're supposed to do all this, but I figured this is a good place to start right here. So that's what we're going to do. Obviously all this still needs to be taken off as well, and then the new heater channels put on later. All right, let's get cracking. So as you can see here, guys, you've got the template which is bolted in at the top, and obviously that's going to dictate for where our bottom holes have to go. So yeah, a nice little jig really. I can use that now. Pretty much we can get our piece here, and we know that we can basically chop that off and weld this sucker in. So we've got a little bit of damage here, so I'm going to take it up a bit higher. Okay, so we might just cut below the line, take the piece out, and then we can start trimming to fit. So this is what we've come up with so far, and as you can see I've trimmed away all the paneling, and this is going to slide in like so, and we can get it tacked. Now the positioning of these little ribs here aren't exactly perfect, so I'm going to have to do some mucking around with that, but you get the idea. We will do that and tack it. I'm not going to go any further with this now because I think we need to know what's going on below it here in terms of the heater channel. So I think we're going to trim off all this excess old heater channel, and then we also probably need to repair these corners here on both sides. You can see all this here is all gone as well, so might have to tackle that first before we can even attempt to mount heater channels. So yeah, I think that front section is going to have to be done. And then turning around, these parts over here are going to have to be done too. I think all this here has to be repaired first. So I might even tackle these back panels because I can get those in position and not have to worry about, you know, doors opening and closing. So I think that's the plan today. I think we'll just leave this for now, trim off all this heater channels on either side, the excess parts, and then get that front nose cone repaired. So let's start doing some chopping. get the other side off. Okay, so these are the front little sections I've got, which are going to go in here, obviously. You get the drift. One interesting thing that I've just discovered is, how's the brazing along here and along down there, and that side doesn't have it. So I'm thinking this has been repaired at some point. So who knows, could have been in an accident. I mean, for it to be brazed, you're thinking, yeah, here you go, some more evidence here. Some brazing down through here. Obviously, must be early before MIG welding was invented. Unless that, well, actually that one does look factory, but if you come in here, yeah, you can see brazing in the corner there as well, and down there as well. Don't know, it's a bit of an oddity. Anyway, what I need to do is, I couldn't get this panel here. No one's got it in stock. This part here would have been nice just to replace that whole thing, but it was like $400 anyway, so I'm just going to have to repair these bottom bits here. But I figured if I put this up first, get that welded in where it needs to go, that'll at least give me a bottom part to then join to, and then I can have to remake these corners here, which is just going to be time consuming and annoying, but that's what we've got to do.
A few moments later.
All right, let's start chopping into the back here. Okay, so next thing we've got to do is just pick off this under skin, because obviously we've got to weld back underneath this again, so we might just get the air chisel and see if we can just pop it off, which I think most of it's come off anyway. I'm looking underneath. Okay, now we can do some trial fitting. So I've just gone and given them a sandblast just to get that hideous black cheap paint off them. Now I went to test fit it, and obviously this part here must be for a later bug, because with that little winglet on, it will not actually fit at all. So I've got to come along here and cut this little piece off. And I had a look underneath anyway, and there's nothing there, so obviously the ovals never had that piece. So let's chop it off. Okay, let's have a look, see. That's going to work just nicely. All right, let's get on to the other side. We'll just go and chop those pieces there out, that little winglet off, and then we can start getting things ready for welding. All right, time to punch some holes with our handy little hole puncher. I'm just going to go along this lip here, and that's where we're going to be picking up our welds. Right, let's do a bit of rust treatment on the underneath of this because it hasn't been blasted. And we've got a lot of welding to do. Okay guys, well, it's the next day and I think what we're going to do is try and get this body onto the pan now and just see where everything's going to line up with the heater channels, and then we can go from there and work out what the hell is going on, because I really don't know. I'm just winging it, as you know. Let's go. Okay, so let's get the stand off the body, and then we can get the chassis rolled in and get the heater channel seals put on and get it mounted to the body and see how we go. Let's pop this up. I've just undone the bolts here at the front and back, so she should just come straight up now. Okay, so the next thing we've got to do is get these seals. I've already trimmed them to size, and they don't actually have holes in them, so we're going to have to punch holes. And this is just a temporary thing because obviously we've got to still paint this chassis anyway. But we want to get some holes punched in where they have to go. So I think what we'll do is just tape it on here and come on from the other side and put a yellow mark on it, and then go from there. Let's do it. Okay, now we've got to climb underneath and get the marker and make some yellow holes. Alright, so punching time. I'm just using this little tool. I don't even know what it was, some sort of nozzle, and I've just ground down the tip of it to make it sharp and put it on a block of wood. Call it good. Here we go. Just pump it in there like so. Give it a whack. And it knocks out the rubber. Okay, that one is done diddly done. So we are now ready to test fit these heater channels. You can see I've just taped down the seal, punched the holes, and obviously just a temporary fit. And let's get the hardware bolted in, and we'll just put, obviously not do them up super tight, and then we can drop the body on top and just see where we're at in terms of this thing marrying up to the chassis. So let's get some bolts in and go from there. Okay, fast forward and the heater channels are bolted in position. I only had trouble with one that was just, one thread was a little bit on the dodgy side, so I had to re-tap it. Wasn't a big deal. Probably got a little bit of swarf in there or something. Anyway, she's ready to go, so we can now wheel this underneath the body and put it down and see how everything lines up. Okay, let's try it out. All right, let's get this thing down. Righto, we've got to see what is stopping this sucker going down. Well, I think it might be in here somewhere. Okay, let's have a look there. That looks about right. Same over there. I suppose as long as we're... Oh yeah, we're pretty good here. Let's see what the front's doing. Okay, so the front's touching down in that corner there. Okay, so back up. I've got a little bit of discrepancy in this corner here. All that is getting banged out anyway, so it's not going to matter. I think it was catching there, and our holes look good for there. So all we've got to do now is drop it, and I think we're good. So yeah, all is good. We've got lined up bolt, that's all pretty good. These ones at the back are all good. Same on the other side, so yeah, that one probably could move forward just a tad, but it's within limit. So what we've got to do now obviously is start working on the adjustment of the heater channel. So I'm going to get rid of the hoist, roll this out of here, and then we can start, you know, getting the repairs, well, just working out exactly what we do need to do. Okay, peeps, so I've decided I'm going to take off the heater channels now, just because I know that they fit, and there's just a couple of discrepancy issues that I've got with this side panel here. I'll just show you quickly. These are the piece that has to go in here. That would be the wrong piece for this piece here. So the idea, what I'm not sure about is this tang here, this part here and this part here, whether or not that has to go under the heater channel or inside the heater channel. Same with this flap here. I don't know whether it goes on the outside or on the inside. So, and also I can't go and weld this into position because it fouls. So I've got a feeling I'm going to have to put this in first and then put the heated channel in. I'm not sure because I can't really find anything on the internet. So the idea is if I can get this, I can't even get it in there. So I've got a feeling I'm going to have to put these in first and then put the heater channels on top of them. Anyway, I want to take this green paint off because I don't like it. Paint doesn't stick well to it. So we're going to paint strip these off, and then we might as well just phosphoric acid them, and then they can go on for the final time for all the fabrication work around them. So let's get these things off and let's treat them, get the green paint off. Okay, we'll just let that do its thing for about 15-20 minutes and then scrape off the paint. All right, probably one more go over it. We can call it good and then get some boric acid on it and get ready for the repairs. So one of the last things I've just done to these heater channels is spray some epoxy in through the channel inside, just to obviously stop them from rusting up again. So I just use a spray can with a little nozzle and just put them in through the holes and chuck them up inside and get them painted. Let's get these suckers mounted and see how everything fits together. The dilemma I'm facing over here at this corner, because I haven't done this before, but so obviously I've gone and punched some holes in here to get that welded, but there's a tab. If I pull this away, you can see that tab there. Now I don't know whether this tab goes on the outside of the heater channel or if it tucks inside it like that. Yeah, don't know. I suppose that probably makes more sense to have it like that, and if that's the case, it means I'm going to have to drill some holes and then weld it through the hole. Now I suppose I can find out if this is correct or not just by running a couple of bolts up underneath and see if they actually fit, and if they don't, then the heater channel will have to go further into the car, I suppose. So let's see how we go. Okay, so that's all done. They're all bolted down. I think this is the way to go, because I can just tell by the way everything's marrying up now. It seems to be a lot happier. Still not sure about this little tab here, but I might try and do a bit more research and see. We might even cut it off, go from there. Now she's definitely looking like it's a good day to go in the water again. I am going to leave it here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers for the new subscribers, and have a happy new year 2023.